All right, y'all, I'm back with another story. Now, I might probably be titling these episodes like Max V Stories, real true life stories, or something like that. I figure out how I'm going to title it. I have a story for you. It's a very true story. It's involving a former coworker. It's involving a former coworker, young guy. He really don't know how this thing works, but he got caught up. And let me just get on into the story. Now, I have a firm core value in not dating coworkers. That I always try to hold true to it because I've done that in the past. I had plenty of experience with it. I've made mistakes in the past. This is early on, in my young adulthood. I made mistakes, and but the thing is, everyone is allowed to make mistakes. But when you learn from your mistakes, that's the telltale story. Now, like I said, I have a firm belief in you are walking a tightrope, and when you dating coworkers. Now, I had a good friend of mine, at work, young kid. He wasn't young. I mean, he's early 30s, but he just, when you don't think with this head up here, when you let the other head, run your life, a lot of things could happen. A lot of things could go left. Now, like I said, I'm not going to say his name, but I noticed he was getting a lot close to this one of his coworkers or whatever. And he was like, yo, man, what do you think, man? She's coming on to me. We really like each other. I said, listen, if you really, because he asked me, I don't like to give advice unless you ask me. And even then, it depends on who you are. Because sometimes I don't like to just meddle in people's business because I just don't like doing that. Because I don't want to get caught up or whatever in the office, whatever's going on in the office. I like to go there, do what I got to do, make my cash, and leave. Because I treat a job like a hustle. Your job is your hustle. And if your hustle is putting money in your pocket, you don't want to jeopardize it over some bullshit. So he came up to me, he was like, yo, am I really feeling her, whatever. We went out a few times and stuff like that. People started talking in the office. I heard the talking, I heard the gossip, but I don't get into office gossip shit. I just don't. So he came, he said, yeah, man, we've been going. I said, I kind of figured that, man. I've been hearing some stuff, but I really don't care. This is what I'm saying to him. I was so matter of fact. I really don't care. I said, even though in my mind I knew that he's making a huge mistake, but I was like, so he was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, so, what do you think? What is your advice? I said, you don't want to hear my advice. You really don't want to hear it. So he's like, no, I want to hear it, man. You older, I want to hear. I really value your opinion. I said, oh, I appreciate it. But I was kind of reluctant on giving him any kind of advice. So what happened was he started dating this young lady. Neither one of them worked there anymore, so that's why I can talk about them. Even if they look at the video, as long as I don't say their name, who cares? So he started dating her, so he was saying to me, like, what do you think I should do, man? I'll say, listen, I'm going to give you some advice that you can have that will benefit you, that you can use all throughout your professional career, right? Now, I told him, before I give you this advice, I come from an era. When I started working in the office, I used to work in New York City. I'm not going to say the company I used to work for, but put it this way, it was on Wall Street. So I had a lot of experience in office politics. And I also had a lot of experience on guys getting caught up. Because I got caught up, but I didn't get caught up to the point where I was going to lose my gig. But I did get caught up. And so I said, I come from an era where sexual harassment was kind of new. Everybody was jumping on that sexual harassment and workplace wave. So if anything happened, they bring in the human resources. And I've seen guys that have families that got just fired on the spot. So I said, I told him I come from that era. So the advice I'm going to give you, I said, I'm not just giving you my opinion. I'm giving you something that I live off of, something that I experience. I said, in my opinion, I don't think you should date her, because I said, unless you don't value your job. I said, because if something go left, which is going to go left, you know what I mean? If something goes left, you got to see her every day. And if people at the work find out, then everybody going to be jumping on you like it was your fault, right? So he was like, you know, you can tell when somebody's they're hearing you. You can tell when somebody's like really, they listen to you, but they're not really hearing you. They're not really fully soaking in the advice that you're giving them. So I'm at this point, I feel like I'm wasting my time, right? So he was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I said, look, if you value your job, if you want money to continue to come in your life, you don't want to disrupt that. You got bills to pay. You got things to do. You want to save money. So you got to really do that. So you got to make a decision. Do you want to continue this or do you want to risk it? So he said, yeah, I understand what you're saying. So the conversation was over. Make a long story short, he didn't listen to me. I didn't really care, you know, but I just knew he wasn't listening. So there was a whole situation at work. She's at her desk crying because she sat near me. But, you know, everybody, girl, what happened? He's an asshole. And I knew this was going to happen. This was our homegirl saying, because, you know, all the women, they you know, it's chicks before dicks. I hope you guys know that. Y'all need to take heed to this advice. It's always chicks before dicks. Just letting you know. So everybody's crowding at her cubicle. This is a cubicle situation. Everybody crowding her cubicle. You know, let's go to lunch. Let's take this outside. Let's talk about it. And what happened was, make a long story short, they were having a relationship, they're having sex, and you know, she thought it was getting serious, but he didn't really want it to be serious. See, he didn't tell me that. You know, he didn't want it to be serious. So what happened was, he kind of broke it off with her. Like, nah, you know, you're getting a little too clingy. Basically, he got what he wanted, and that was it. He hit it a few times. Okay, young man, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Hit it a few times, but he wasn't upfront with her. That was some other advice I gave to him. He wasn't upfront with her. I said, first of all, if you're going to do it, you need to be upfront with her. If you don't want a relationship, I told him because I kind of sensed that he didn't really want a relationship. He just wanted to hit it. I said, if that's the case, you really want to be upfront with her. Just be upfront with her, because women respect the fact that you're upfront with them. You know, if you're upfront with a woman, like, I don't want anything serious, but, you know, we can actually get together and have relations with no strings attached. But I'm just letting you know right now, it's not going to be no more than that. Just be upfront with her, then she'll make a decision at that point whether she want to continue to deal with you or not. Because most women respect the fact that you're upfront at first. You know what I mean? Actually, that'll surprise most women. Like, if a man is upfront at first, like, you know, this is what it is. But he didn't do that. So he led her on. He said what he had to say, pillow talk with her, all that sweet pillow talk. He had to do all he had to do to keep getting what he wanted. Then when he finally finished getting what he wanted, he wanted to break it off. Here's the problem. He has to see her every day. So he broke it off with her. So she's at work crying. The girls took her out. Girl, let's take this outside. He ain't shit. I told you, girl, he wasn't going to be shit. He ain't about shit, and he wasn't going to be shit. And so then they came back from lunch. The next thing you know, she's in human resources. All right. She's in human resources. Now, this is another thing that he didn't realize. Sometime when an attractive woman is at work, and a lot of the people find out at work, it's like a lot of men find at work that's in charge, they tend to hate on you, especially if they like her. You know what I mean? They'll tend to take her side because they'll secretly don't like the fact that you talking to her. So that's what happened. So they took her side. Basically, they filed a harassment charge on him. I didn't agree with that because I don't think he harassed her, but she said that he started harassing her, he made some shit up. Next thing you know, he got fired. Okay? He got fired. Okay, rent's due. He only got a couple checks left because, they give you your last check. If he had listened to me, this is like for young guys. If you listen the first time, if anybody is older person's trying to give you advice, you might want to listen. But he didn't listen. Okay, so now he's fired and he tried to get unemployment. That didn't work. They denied him. So what was it all for? Just a couple cheap thrills? You know what I mean? If he had to think with this part of his head, he would have realized, like, look, this might go left. If this go left, I have to see her every day. 9 times out of 10, they're going to side with her. And that's pretty much happened right here. They sided with her, and he was out of there that same day. I didn't even see him get escorted out, but I heard about it. And, this quick story with me, I had a female was touching on me. You know what I mean? Like, getting in my space at work, just like touchy-feely. And this woman was married. You know what I mean? And I'm, like I said, I have core values. I'm not touching it, especially if that's my hustle, because I'd rather have my hustle than risk my hustle. If y'all know what I mean. I'm not risking my hustle for a good night. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at all. And pretty much I had to just let her know. I'm like, look here, we got to have boundaries here. You know what I mean? And she respected it. She didn't really, that was it. So, guys, you just got to make a decision. If you don't care nothing about your job, then go for it. Go for it. If you don't care about your job, but if you care about your job, you value your hustle, you need the money coming in, you might be saving up for a trip, you might be, doing a lot with your money, you got to value that. And you can always date a woman outside of work. There's plenty of bars out here. That's why I told him there's plenty of bars out here. You're a young man, there's plenty of bars out here. Just get yourself out there and see what's out there, except for work. But it happens all the time, though, man, because, you spend a lot of time with people at work. You spend most of your time with people you work with than your own family members. So, sometimes there's some office attraction happens there. You know what I mean? They tend to grow on you. It's office attraction there. A lot of people got office husbands or office wives. I don't play that shit. I don't have no office wife or nothing like that. Like, I'm very straight to it. I get to work, do my business, and leave. That's it. Because I'm there for the paper. Nothing more. I'm not there to make no relationships or anything like that. So that's my core value. That's my story. So this dude, very attractive woman, very attractive. But I could have told him that she wasn't for the game. You ran a game on her. And you did. You don't have to run game on women. See, that's another thing, man. You don't have to run game on women. Be upfront at first. If they don't accept it, either they're going to move on, which is their choice, or they're going to get down with it. Now, if they get down with it, then I can see that. But you always got to give that woman that option to have that choice up front. You know what I mean? Especially if you type individual that's on your hustle, you ain't got time for a serious relationship, let her know that. 9 times out of 10, a lot of women like to have fun too. They're like, shit, I don't want no strings attached either. They might be up front with you and tell you that. You know what I mean? I don't want nothing up front. Yeah, I'm with it. You'll be surprised a lot of guys will be surprised if they up front with women at first, the reaction they get. And that's my story and advice for the day. Let me know what you think. And I'm curious to see what ladies think about that. I'm sure they're going to say I'm right. Because trust me, I study women I know. I can literally have a series on how to read women, how to deal with them, all that shit. I know. But hopefully he learned for the next gig that, you can't always do that. It is what it is. All right, man, until next time. Peace.